lot of teams like Optic and Mindfreak, both of their setups, they put a lot of pressure on ammo. And so if you just expose the left side, you'll be chilling, of course, at the start of this game. Nades are doing pretty well for Optic game. Each able to get a kill.
Doesn't get much easier than that when they get you your first couple. Formal dropping one shot there. We'll have to back out of the hill, but he's got help coming on in from the rest of Optic Gaming. As they're just trying to hold that side of the map, obviously, for the next spawns. Awkward team kill comes into play there. Dens and Fida trading kills around this hard point as you see one player from Mindfreak trying to develop middle map. It's going to be Shocks looking for the pinch in courtyard.
Buzzo just put like 90 bullets through a wall that entire time. But yeah, no, he can play a bit slow sometimes, but obviously there's value to trying to go through the wall bank just to try and catch people as they go through the door. But yeah, Formal started out 4-0, got streaks, got a little bit of hill time as well. And more importantly for Optic, well, they have the spawns early on. So now we get the opportunity. How does Mindfreak try and break it? Do they all flood up the left side, or do they try and funnel through ammo? Because you can see there's one player, now make it two, dedicated to the right side of the map, and one player's mid-map. It's Karma by himself in this hill, and there you go. Two players coming in from the left side, and now Optic Gaming, yeah, it's great, they have the spawns, but these aren't easy gunfights to get into the hill to win it all. So Mindfreak making some solid adjustments, but you still got to come out on top of the gunfight. Spider trying to do just that.
We saw a lot more back in the beginning of the year where if you had these back spawns, it was very easy to hold this front winery push, but I feel like as time has gone on, that is not the case. Mindfreak currently just contesting this hard point. Finally, Scump and Karma will challenge, but it's Dens with the three-piece that keeps it in control right now for Mindfreak. Will he get the multi-kill? He does, and streaks to follow. A major individual play from Dens to bring his team within a couple.
Absolutely, and again, that's a situation where Optic Gaming just hasn't made an adjustment. They've had the same setup on this hill for the longest time. Mindfreak took their defensive setup from Optic Gaming. That's what they do as well. But again, TK, Red Reserve, they've kind of exposed the flaw. So again, just thinking the long term of how the meta of the map adjusts. Either way, though, Mindfreak, not only do they get the scrap time, not only do they get the streaks, they're going to have the setup for the next hill as well, and they should be able to take the lead on this game. The question is, just how far can they extend it?
Well, 49-49 about to be the score. Optic using the glide bomb, trying to break towards this hard point. You see that number 7 Formal, or Karma, sorry, just sprinted on through, trying to get to the hard point, but Optic can't break the spawns following. So, yes, the glide bomb is used. So far, they're just trying to fight for any little hill control they can get. If there's a silver lining here for Optic Gaming fans, it's at least that they've kept Mindfreak out of the hill for the most part so far. So they still have a 10-second game, but it will be OG breaking on in. Even if they get the scrap time, a very even game so far.
Secondary question for Optic Gaming in terms of their strategy. Red Reserve, when they know the other team has a fighter pilot, how many switch to Mountain? So far, we have 0, and we're going towards the open hill. So we talk about Optic Gaming like, yes, they're veterans, but still, there's a lot of decision-making that it seems like they haven't gone that extra mile into thinking about their gameplay. But not only is there a lack of Mountain, there's a lack of gunfights being won inside the hill for OG. Mindfreak trying to take control and get the lead once again. Of course, Formal has a fighter pilot to disposal as well, but he's not even going to use it for the moment. He's just trying to find Shocks and should be able to do just that. That's 3 down in favor of OG.
And there has been so much time that's just kind of been left out in the open so far. The score still only 73-69. If this whole game plays on out, we'll do 3 full rotations with how the scores are going up to this point. Optic trying to fight for any second they can here at the lookout post. Shocks will trade a couple back, and now it's Optic coming off spawn, flooding towards the hill. So we have a tied game yet again.
Yeah, nice back and forth game. This is, what, the 4th or 5th time we've seen the lead change off. But either way, Optic off the back of Formal having a very nice start to the game as well. Having a noticeable lead over at the start. It does seem, though, that Mindfreak's going to be in the early control of the hill. Of course, though, Optic, they do have the pinch coming in. It's Formal coming up from the top side of the map. The rest of Optic Gaming coming in from the bottom. And there you go. Formal continually doing damage.
Optic now, slight edge, but again, just scrappy gameplay. I'm surprised, Chance, with how low scoring this game is that the game clock isn't lower. It's still 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I feel like with how it's played out so far, it would be a hell of a lot lower than that. Again, teams, it's just a fight for 5 seconds at a time, it seems. We haven't seen anyone really lock down a full 60 up to this point.
Not at all, and now you see Karma going for that full rotation as well. But players from Mindfreak, they're going to be at least a little bit privy to it. But Scump's winning the gunfights as well, and Mindfreak, they're just going to spawn all the way out. Shocks, yes, he's alive and in the hill, and it doesn't seem like Optic Gaming is entirely aware although Scump is trying to make sure to clear out the back. So an important gunfight here for Shox. That does not go his way. Mindfreak very far away from the next hill.
Yeah, and this is probably the toughest break setup we've seen so far from these teams in recent time on this map. Here we go. Mindfreak trying to break back in there, now down by 40. Entry kill in middle map, but it's Karma watching Arch, and he's got a crossfire with Formal, who's looking over as well to help his teammate. And he's going to do just that. Optic holding the front door for now, but they're going to have to come off spawn quick because you can see those blue arrows inching closer and closer, and there you go. The gunfight's won by Fida and Shox. Nades coming in to zone out Formal. Again, we've seen this more and more chance, it feels like, that the team trying to push through that outside field area does a better job of contesting. This is now 20 seconds they've contested.
To Optic's credit, though, these should be easy cleanup kills at the end. So, yeah, Mindfreak puts the pressure on the left side, but Optic did a much better job that time around. So this was a close game where I think, you know, Optic had a slight lead on Restaurant. It has just got not completely blown out of the water, but this is the biggest lead we've seen so far, and Optic Gaming does have time to get the rotation as well.
You know, Chance, when Optic got 100-point club by Mindfreak the last time these teams played on this map, I don't think they had 3 players positive. You know, they were definitely losing the slang as well as just kind of having the whole map fall out of their control. That's the opposite case here. They're up by 70 right now. They do have the slight slang advantage, and here comes the fighter pilot to try to clear these players out of the hill. Fida and Shox should both be dead. Buzzo now pinned in the back of the map, but oh, is that a missed call out by Karma? He's looking at the complete wrong direction. Buzzo just shoots him in the back.
And I will say, yes, those players did not have Mountain, but neither does Optic. But both of these players have been sitting on the fighter pilot for, what, 5 or 6 minutes? Now, you can't leave Mountain on for that long. It's going to be too costly. So sometimes you just have to make concessions. Either way, though, Optic Gaming, 1 player left alive in the hill. Crim6 probably just going to fall here, going to get traded out. The PPS age at close range as well. Trying to stay alive long enough, but not going to be the case. Shox able to pick up 4 through that duration.
Optic, I feel like you're happy that fighter pilot was used there for like 20 seconds instead of being used on the rotation towards lookout post. 178 to 122. Optic in early control again. They do not have control of top red, but wow, that nade could not have been more perfectly timed. Keep in mind, Shox on a 5 streak, and as I pointed out, he does get cut down.
There it goes, and it's worth pointing out as well, part of the problem, it seemed from or way back when, week 1 for Buzzo, was in the hard point, least amount of kills, least amount of deaths, although he's not quite the least amount of kills, and low hill time as well. He hasn't really found himself to be able to contribute. Now, sometimes the games just play out that way, so look for him to try and pick things up a little bit in these next coming hills. But either way, Optic Gaming doing a pretty solid job. Crim's got 2 gunfights in front of him, leaves that second player weak. Should be an easy trade for Formal. There you go.
Listen, I can almost guarantee you, regardless of whoever Mindfreak faces, if you have Fida at 13 and 25, they're probably going to be struggling in the hard point, right, Chance?
Absolutely. Fida, though, inside the hill, trying to get some time. So, again, a little bit scrappy. Yes, Optic Gaming does have a pretty sizable and pretty comfortable lead, but if Mindfreak does a halfway decent job on this red hill, the restaurant hill, and make sure they get the rotation, that's where Optic Gaming kind of blew out the lead as well. Mindfreak could claw their way back into it.
We'll have to see if that comes into play. Karma trying to stay alive top red. You've got Formal winning gunfights middle street. He's now 27 and 15 as he just seems to be so comfortable now with the submachine gun. The man just doesn't miss. As Optic Gaming fans have got to love to see just how good he's been in this role for his team.
Absolutely. Mindfreak is kind of stuck back as well. Now they're kind of at the decision point where, like, do they want to even try to push for this time? Because then they're risking losing spawns. Because you see, yes, they do get control of the hill, but now Karma's behind him. He has 2 players, 1 shot. Shox just over to the side, and Karma's ready for it as well. Recognizes that, knows where 3 players are going to be positioned, even goes towards the hill. So just a very rough hill. Optic Gaming trying to win this one here. Mindfreak now has to flood in, which Dens is trying to do just that. Has to not die because I think Optic can win here. Yes, they put the pressure on, so Mindfreak dream is not dead yet, but OG, they just need 4.
It's on its last breath, so for this final hard point here at Winery. It looks like on the opposite side of the map, Karma's trying to play spoiler for those spawns. Not going to happen quite yet. The challenge coming in from Formal. There's 2 dead. The green wall beginning to surge on through. Scump with 1 more. Karma on the pinch. Last player in the hard point is dead. GG. Optic will take map number 1, 250 to 151.
Off the back of Formal's nice looking 31 and 17. Again, kind of pointed out the second hill might have been a little problematic, but that was only the case the first time around. The second time around, Optic basically played it perfectly. I think Formal was the player that was around ammo, but he makes the rotation over to Arches incredibly quickly. So the in-game adjustments were there.